Being in the band has been one of the most beneficial things I have ever done as a musician, as a creator, and just as a collaborator. It gives you a place to call home, it gives you people to count on, and it gives you an overall sense of identity, which is kind of hard to come by whenever you're by yourself and you're trying to go solo, or you're trying to do just like your own thing. Having a bunch of people around to kind of guide you, or even just kind of tell you whether or not your ideas are garbage, is always welcome. Being in the band means you have multiple people to bounce off of, multiple skills and talents to make use of. But that also comes with pride, personal baggage, and boundaries to manage from the group and yourself. That being said, being in a band can be one of the most stressful, expensive, and time-consuming things you ever do. But it will also be the most exciting, engaging, and fulfilling thing you ever do. So how do you manage?
Have y'all experienced any challenges together when working together?
Yeah, we hate each other.
What I'm going to say is very similar to how you manage a band, but I'm going to focus more on internal dynamics rather than PR or other externalities. So the band has started and you have your team. Your team ought to be made up of not necessarily like-minded people, but of individuals who hold the same goal and the same end game. Notice how I'm not saying band, but team. That's because I'm using the same principles entrepreneurs use when building an effective team for their businesses. Sources, I'm a business student. You want people who are aiming for the same throne, so no one holds anyone back. Everyone's working towards the same goal, they have the same standards, and whether or not they do it the same way you do, you can at least trust they're aiming at the same thing, that they have the same mission in mind. You want people who are aiming for the same throne, so no one holds anyone back. As harsh as that sounds. You, along with the band, ought to keep that goal in mind when making decisions and making plans. This foundation ensures that you can trust one another, especially when ideas are pitched. An idea may seem outlandish, unconventional, even off-brand if you want to go into that direction, but seeing as how they have the same goal, you can at least take it in with good intentions. Like, they're not saying this just to be a nuisance, they're saying this because they genuinely believe this might be beneficial to the group. Once again, everyone has the same goal, so you can trust one another and all of their ideas, especially the bad ones. Disagreements are commonplace, but professional disagreements are harder to navigate. Whether you're a weekend band or a Grammy winner, you're going to disagree. It's not about if you disagree, but how you disagree. You want to be encouraging to your bandmates and not stifle anyone's creativity. Naturally, there'll be those who engage more than others or perform better than others, but regardless, everyone's ideas should be held to the same standard and consideration. Naturally, with any team, there'll be like 20% who really engage, are really active and do a lot, and there'll be 80% who kind of take a back seat and relax. That is fine. That is okay. That's how it works. That is how it works within any organization, club, whatever you want to call it. So of course it's going to be like that in a band. It's very important not to take that personally, or not to think of that as a slight towards the band, like they just don't care or they aren't in it 100%, because that is not true. Once again, addressing a previous point, we're all in it for the same goal, so I trust all of you are making decisions in accordance to that goal. I'm looking at this at the macro level, as a big picture guy, but that may not be you. You may feel that this information is nitpicky, or it's I'm thinking too hard about it, which in many regards I probably am. But like I said, I'm a macro level guy, and that may not be you, because you might fit a different kind of role. So let's talk about roles. Mixing a bit of business again, but bear with me. An effective team needs to have well-defined roles. But to do that, you need to learn what you are within a team. Now let me reiterate. You're a band, not associates, co-workers, or classmates. You are multiple creative people coming together to hopefully produce an even greater creative product. With that being said, You're all going to expose yourself, be a little bit more vulnerable with each other than your average group. Because groups are only together in name. Teams, they're a bit more collaborative. They're a little bit more interconnected. But a band, you're in this 100%. Win or lose. So, with that being said, who's your leader? We have no leader. We are all equals. Don't kid yourself. As I stated earlier, some give more than others. Not everyone is built to lead, and that's okay. We're not trying to be the self-starter, Gary Vee, made $1 billion at 23 type of person, okay? I'm talking more of a facilitator role. The person who guides the band in direction and encourages tasks to be completed. You can be democratic, I mean, that's normal, and have everyone sign off on an idea, but someone has to say, all right, let's do it. That's the more leader, supervisor, manager role I'm kind of talking about. Of course, you might be the guy who started the band, and you are the one who ultimately has the say in what direction y'all go, or you're all individualistic people who all have their own goals. Now, once again, you all have to be aiming towards the same mission, and you will be equals. However, there has to be someone who really does inspire the band and pushes them to accomplish these tasks. And you'll figure out who that is as time goes. But it is important to figure out if that's you or not. Of course, that may not be you, but don't worry. Not every band member needs to be the leader, the self-starter, any of that garbage. You also need people who have temperance, who are observers, people who maintain the atmosphere, maintain the mood, living in the moment, and also keeps everyone grounded. Because whenever the self-starter guy, whoever that is, does start pushing, they can usually grab him and bring him back to the ground and kind of tell them in an advisory role, like, hey, realistically speaking, this is how we are, okay? So either your idea is great or not super realistic. You need to have people like that. You need to have those who are push, 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 and some of them who are rest, rest, pull a little bit. There's a tug of war. Once again, if you find yourself not fitting into a specific role, that's okay. You're a band. Not everything is going to be cut and dry. What truly is important is to be friends. I don't think I've mentioned music or practice even once. And that's because none of that matters if you aren't even friends. What I truly think is the most important for a group is the ability to sit down and eat together, joke together, watch movies together, listen to music, share music, ideas, go to each other's birthday parties. That's what I truly believe is the most important for a band. Spend some real quality time together. Learn about each other. Build that camaraderie that no amount of failure, stress, or struggle could ever destroy. Push comes to shove, it's that bond, it's that friendship that will really keep the boat going. That will really make you tolerate each other. Because there will be moments where the band will get a little heavy. It will be taking too much time, too much money. Especially when you're going nowhere and you're still playing bar gigs and wine houses, whatever the hell you got. It's that friendship. It's playing for each other's amusement that will make it all worthwhile. So that's all it really takes to be in a band. Now, to be in a successful band, oh baby.